Potato is tomato.
Hello, today is April 3rd, 2022. Just before we start, we just want to say that we are super sorry for not posting. I think we didn't post for a month and a half, which we're super sorry about. The March break came and we just wanted to take a slight break because we recorded a lot in a very short period of time and we kind of almost ran out of ideas. And then we just wanted to take a tiny little break. And we will try our best to post more on different topics, and we're going to be having some special guests coming, so please stick around. This will be awesome.
And now for the podcast. As you saw from the title, the podcast topic today is gas. Now, we're not talking about the natural kind, if you catch my drift. Yes, I understand. I'm hilarious. But let's get back to the podcast.
Hilarious joke, Bucket. Now, let's start with the first topic, gas prices.
As you know, the price of gas has really gone up because of the war between Russia and Ukraine.
And yeah, I think it almost doubled its price. Before, I think just before COVID started, it went down to like 40 cents almost. And when you're putting in like 70 liters of gas into a car, that it adds up quickly, but for 40 cents, it's not bad. And now that it's doubled its price, that's like $120 to fill up your tank once. And maybe you run a diesel engine, but still, that's very expensive.
Yeah, my parents, we actually have a truck, and it costs a lot of money. Like we're talking like $100 to fill up the truck because the gas prices are so high. So we're starting to have to look into getting like electric cars and stuff because it's getting to be super, super expensive to fill up a big car like a truck.
No, yeah, an electric car at this point in time is an incredible idea. My uncle just got an electric car, it's a Tesla. I'm just gonna share the name. But it got a beautiful interior and it runs on electricity. It's a great thing to save money on gas, but it takes a long time to charge it up, and you can't really tow anything on the back of it because that takes up more electricity. So you have to stop more frequently throughout the journey.
Well, my family, we've actually been looking at getting an electric truck because they are coming out very soon, and these electric trucks will be able to pull the same amount as our normal truck. Sure, we'll have to recharge it, but I think that the technology that we're coming up with every day, I think we'll be able to last like a full day of driving at a certain amount of time. The only problem is you don't want to just get the second the electric truck comes out, you don't want to just get it immediately because you have to wait a year for like them to work out the kinks and stuff. So it's hard because we don't know, should we sell it? Should we keep it? There's the gas prices, they're so high now, but also electric cars are super expensive at the same time because of the gas prices. So it's a very hard, it's not just a two-way street. It's more of like an 8-way, and it's very hard to decide.
Now, you just said there, it's a lot of money for an electric car, and yeah, it is for something that you need to recharge very regularly. It's a lot of money, but also you're saving like almost $1,000 a year. No, sorry, almost multiple thousands of dollars a year on gas. And if you have an electric car, you could be saving all that money, and maybe you could be putting it towards something maybe like after COVID, or repairs for the house, or new furniture. I just feel like an electric car at this time is an incredible idea.
Well, a normal car, let's say, I don't know, like just a small, like 4-seater car, not anything big or anything like that. I'd say like a Honda Civic, that's like $10,000, correct? Now, an electric, like let's say a Tesla, probably around the same size, but electric, about 100, that'd be like $100,000. They cost like a big amount more. Sure, it may be like a tiny bit good in the long run, but you are having to pay for that energy, and the car costs a buttload of amount to buy it. So
I've actually just pulled up here on my screen right now. If you're shopping for a new Tesla Model 3 in Canada, expect to pay anywhere from $46,000 for the base standard range, plus a model with a limited 151 kilometer range, just $75,000 for the extra performance model. If you opt for an autopilot, it will add an extra $10,000. So already it's adding up really quickly for this Tesla.
yeah, and I've watched a couple videos with Teslas and like challenges and stuff. I saw this one where they were doing like across the country in a Tesla, and it took them a very long amount of time because they had to stop every like I don't know how long a Tesla's charge usually is. I really just forget, but they had to stop so frequently. They spent about 70% of their trip waiting for the car to be charged rather than driving. So right now, I don't know how good it could be different. This was like an old video, but right now it could be different. But from what I saw before, it was actually better to get around in a gas. So right now, I don't really know what would be better. So I'm more leaning to a hybrid, which is like half electric, half gas. It uses like 50% less gas and more like electric. And it's better for the ecosystem. Yes, it still does use gas, but it uses way less. And it's more reliable if the electric were to stop working, and it's easier to get around.
Yeah, a hybrid is a great idea. Like it's basically, let's say, a Honda Pilot had a baby with a Tesla. It's a great mix. But also that's a lot of pollution still going into the air. And well, I'll let Bucket you talk for a while I try and find how much pollution is let into the air by cars across Canada every year.
Well, pollution, it's a big topic, and it's been going on for like as long as humans have been alive for, and it's a massive thing because it's putting like bad fumes into the air, which is basically it's ruining our entire planet. It's killing a bunch of stuff, and it's hurting our atmosphere, which could potentially break it, and we'd have massive sun rays, and it could end it, not to be like big like a whole thing, but it could end Earth. And we haven't really done anything until and we haven't really done too much about it until like past, like I'd say 3 years, 4 years. Yet we knew about it for the past like 30. So it's a big deal, and it's kind of our generation's problem to figure out now. And it's a big deal because there's like when you put in gas into your car, it burns it. It makes a bunch of smoke that fuel like a bunch of things go into the air, like CO2, all that goes into the air. It can make it hard for people to breathe. It could be toxic. It could kill plants, animals, ecosystems. It goes into our atmosphere. There's a lot of problems with it. But if you were to look at electric cars, they may be a bit better, but where do you think that electricity comes from? It usually comes from burning oil to make electricity, the same way a car goes. Sure, there's solar power and like wind powered and water powered electricity and all that type of stuff, but it's not. Sure, we're kind of moving into that, but I don't really see a lot of solar panels on people's houses. I see if someone has an electric car, they plug it in from the side of their house, which, if I were to guess, the electricity from that probably comes from something that is not too good for the ecosystem, and it probably does pollute. It may not pollute as much, it may be better, and yes, there's other ways to make it, to make that electricity, but I don't think we've really moved forward as much as we need to on that yet. So
Yeah, I just pulled it up here. Typical passenger vehicle, and this is a typical passenger vehicle, emits about 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. This assumes the average gasoline vehicle on the road today has a fuel economy about 22.0 miles per gallon and drives around 1,100 miles per year. Every gallon of gasoline burned creates about 8,887 grams of CO2. And that's a lot of pollution from just one car. And think about all the people that are in the world, which is about 7 billion. And then think almost everyone in the world has about one car. I could be wrong. Just imagine that almost everybody has a car. Some people have 2 cars, some people have 4 cars, some people have 5 cars. Now, I know they won't be driving it all the time, but still, that's like, the numbers start adding up really fast to the amount of pollution going into our environment, and we're getting surprised that, it didn't snow last winter. Oh, I wonder why that is. Oh, now it's snowing in summer. Oh, what's going on? You can sort of see the pattern going on here.
And also, I'd like to say, like, for people who are saying, yesterday it was -2, and the day before that it was like 12, saying that global warming isn't a thing. It's not global warming, it's climate change. Global warming is happening in some parts, but climate change is happening everywhere. And the fact that we're getting in Canada, one day it's -5 and the next day it's 15 degrees is a problem, and people are just kind of shaking it off when it actually is a problem. It's our fault, and most of it's probably coming from cars, because I think there's around 1 billion cars in the world. And you said how much fuel came out of it again?
About sorry, about 1,400 4.6 metric tons, which is equivalent to 4,600 kilograms.
And now everybody has to remember, multiply that by 1 billion. And I don't think a lot of people understand how much 1 billion is. 1 billion is 1,000 million. That's how much it is, if that puts it in perspective. 1 million is 100,000. That is a lot. Like, that is a massive amount.
Now, this isn't like including like some days like camping. Like, for instance, a normal like camping spot, let's say like I want to go up north, that's like 200 that's like a 200 to 1,000 to 2,000 kilometer journey. And that's a lot of gas burnt, and probably frequent stops along the way. And you burn, like, if you have a trailer, I think Bucket does, correct me if I'm wrong, and you want to tow that, that's going to take extra gas to get to your destination.
Yeah, it does, because you have to use more horsepower and more of your engine to pull it up, especially when we're going across the country and there's some pretty rocky terrain up there. We go up and down, and it takes a lot of horsepower to be able to pull like a massive trailer like we have. Sure, we have a truck and it can definitely handle it, but it does have to add a lot more fuel into the engine in order for it to actually work and pull that forwards. And we've gone some pretty far distances before where we'd have to fill up multiple times in a day, and we'd stop like once every day, and then wake up and then go another time the next day, and we'd be gone for like a month. That's a lot of fuel if we're emptying it twice in a day, and we're going for like 30 days. Sure, there's sometimes where we'd stay at a campsite for more than a day. Sometimes we stay at a campsite for a week or something like that. But that's a lot of fuel that's getting used up just by us alone with a massive truck.
Actually, my uncle and his family were going to drive to Lake Superior, and they have a pretty nice trailer. It's pretty big, and they just got a new car to tow it, but it takes a lot of gas. And because the gas prices raised so high, they ended up having to cancel their trip, because from where they lived to Lake Superior is 740 kilometers. That's, and for frequent stops and that huge engine with all that gas, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of pollution going into the air. That's a lot of things. But it's because of the gas prices that they weren't able to go.
Yeah, it's like nowadays you use so much gas because the gas prices are higher. The cars are getting more advanced. The more advanced they get, the more power they need. The more power they need, the more gas they need to pull in. So it needs to get bigger gas tanks, more money, more pollution, and it's like it'll just keep growing forever and ever and ever. And it's just there's no end to it.
Now, sorry. Now, diesel. What is it? Is it a different kind of gas? Diesel. Some cars, usually bigger trucks and cars. Some Volkswagens. A diesel engine is basically just gas, but it's basically gas, but it's just some cars have diesel engines, some have regular gas engines.
Yeah. Diesel it's a different type of gas. It's still gas, it's just a different type of gas that some cars use with a diesel engine. It just runs differently and makes it better. And I know someone who does have a diesel engine, and sometimes it runs smoother. And a lot of, if you see a semi truck, I bet you that runs on diesel. It's more for trucks, runs smoothly, and it burns a bit differently.
Yeah, actually, diesel used to be cheaper than gas, so a diesel engine was a lot, people were, like the diesel engine more because it was cheaper than a normal gas engine, and I can totally see that, like, but actually diesel just rocketed up with gas, I think, lately. Do you have any words on that, just to finish us off?
Well, I don't really know too much on diesel, because we don't have any cars that has diesel. I'm just gonna guess that trucks use it, burns it differently, and it's a different type of gas for diesel engines. There's no real difference. It still runs. It does everything like that. I don't really know why trucks use it. I guess if you wanted to look it up, you could, but trucks just use it because I'm pretty sure it just burns differently.
Well, that's all the time we have today, unfortunately. Thank you for all the support, and thank you for the 1,000 streams. Oh my god, that's incredible. I never thought we'd make it this far. We started off with we just wanted to do this for fun. We never knew it was gonna become that many people listening to our podcasts. So thank you guys so much, and yeah, thank you.
Goodbye, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Potato is tomato.